Here's the lesson plan. Bard's Bingo is a month's worth of lesson plans, and I'm going to show you what we got with this, okay? So here is, actually, before I do that, I got to look in your eyes. I'm going to close this first. Come on, close, stop sharing. Here it comes. There you go. That's gone. It's just me, right? Yes? Okay. So I learned this. You're running a drama class and you give them the scene and they're really excited. It's the first time they got the scene. They go in and they sit down with their scene and they read through the scene once with their partner. Done. Then they maybe read through it and rehearse it again. I send them out in the groups and they're rehearsing it again. But all of a sudden they just get bored and they quit rehearsing their scenes, right? Have you found that? Or are kids in Alabama all super well behaved, right? So they're done, you know, and I go, are you ready to perform? No, I need 2 more weeks to memorize this. I need 3 more weeks. They said, well, how come you're not rehearsing? So they know they need more rehearsal, but they don't know what else to explore because we haven't given them tasks to explore each of those areas. So I'm not going to apologize for giving this all to you, but you could make a lesson plan out of every single one of these. And so I stole this from a teacher. A teacher, he calls it bingo. You know, you make the bingo chart. So you draw the lines, you make the chart. And you, in the first thing, run through with partner. Run through here, run through here. So they have 9 different ways they can run through it. And I went, 9 different ways? Oh my gosh. There's so many different ways to open up a Shakespeare text. We can run through it fantastic ways. And Jason, I'm so glad you're here. This was the one thing I wanted to make sure you had. I don't have to go back and do anything else. You'll catch up, okay? So we're not really playing bingo. This is just a graph showing you all of these things. I will show you how the tool works. I'll show you how it goes, and then I'm going to plow as quickly as I can through each of these things, okay? Translate, put it in your own words. How would you communicate this text? Focal points. Who am I talking to? Or more importantly, explore talking points. Is it direct address? Is it over here? Who am I talking to with focal points? First folio. What are the differences between the first folio text that you have and this too? And I know I'm talking to people who work with both junior high and high school. You decide when you want to choke them with that or not, but I love the first folio, okay? Secret hopes and dreams. I wish, I want, I hope, I need, I must. 4 questions. So you see how that works, okay? Let me go down to the bottom of the tool. So that's all of that, okay? Bard's Bingo instructions. Shakespeare demands that we are specific in our objectives, speech measures, and use of text. This is where if you want to raise your hand and say, I don't know what those are, it's okay to tell me that. I'll say it. Objectives are what I want out of a scene. Speech measures are sections of speech that are sometimes separated by commas. Sometimes they're separated by periods or colons or semicolons. Sometimes they are called beats in other theater worlds. So there are sections of what is a speech measure? You, as a student, you get to decide where those speech measures are. You can choose where those speech measures are. The following are techniques that can increase an actor's specificity in communicating his work. And if I were to condense all of Michael Barr's philosophy, I've already said you got to play with it. I've already said you got to add physicality to it. But for me, I am about specificity. I hate watching Romeo and Juliet scenes where Juliet is farewell, God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear that almost fills up my head. And she's just sad. I go, whoa, it's more than sad. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse, you got 5 different things that you're playing there and the specificity of that. Okay, cool. So this is me in order across the way, basically telling you how to do each of those things. So you tell me, would you rather look at this as I describe these things, or would you rather look at this? I'm asking for you as a class as I plow through this. Would you rather look at this one or this one? What would you prefer? This, probably? Oh, you can't tell what you can't see what I'm seeing. So at this point, you'd like to look at something. Here it comes. Come on, baby. Is it there now? Come on. There it is. Hang on. Are we back now? Is it there? Yep. You got it? Okay, so let me give that choice to you again. Would you rather I go through these individually here, or would you rather I use here? There's more language here, so you might prefer this. Yeah? Okay, cool. I love your black kitty. Is that Binks?
Actually, we do. My stepsister and brother-in-law have a black cat named Binks, but this is just Cat. The other three cats are around here somewhere.
Oh, well done. But I hope they enjoy. I hope they join us.
So
So
keep with us for an hour.
for purposes of the workshop, I'm going to plow. If you have any questions, ask me. Okay, but I trust you as teachers. I think you'll be fine. So translate. Actors will rewrite the scene in English and using their own words to communicate the meaning. Just so you know, rewrite in English is not sitting down and writing it. That's an English class. I want them on their feet. I want them spontaneously improvising and putting the text in their mouth. The minute I see, the minute I say translate, and she gets her notebook out and she starts to do this, I said, nope, sorry, Cynthia, up. I need you on your feet. I need you up doing stuff. Okay, raise the stakes. Actors will perform a scene with the tactic, oh my gosh! Each line must be heightened to the extreme. So basically, God knows when we shall meet again. And it's really loud. And the principal walks in your room and said, what's going on? I said, my students are all engaged. You should have no complaints here. They are all yelling at each other. Everything is fine. Okay. Silent movie. Actors will perform the scene without using text, but communicating the meaning of the scene. Gibberish run through. Actors will perform the scene without using real words with nonsense sounds, using a tone of the voice to communicate the meaning of the text. Step into another's shoes. Actors will swap roles with one another. Focal points, actors will identify who they're speaking to. Vocal dynamics, actors will identify the builds and climaxes of the scene. They will chart it out and they will then perform it. Punctuations, actors will identify end stops, phrasing in each scene. They will then perform the scene using what they have discovered. I have a lesson plan about this. I will come back to this later. Okay, cool. Speech measures. Actors will identify the speech measures, single image, thoughts, actions, characters, beats. They will then perform the scene. Partner tactic throwout. Actors will perform the scene using tactics as suggested by the partner. Do it this way. Do it this way. Do it as if you're a WWF wrestler. Do it as if you're a cheerleader. Do it as if you're in some Star Trek episode. First folio. Actors will identify the differences between those versions. Uta Hagen. Actors will identify what happens to their characters in the moments before and after the scene, and then utilize it to inform the scene. I'm going to hold. I'm on 12. Any questions on these, or is everybody okay? Is your head going, psh, are you doing all right? Yeah?
Good, doing good.
Okay.
I imagine this is all excellent material for helping memorization, isn't it?
Yes, yes, because memorization comes, you don't memorize just sitting, you memorize when you physicalize the line. It's also, and for me, more important than memorization, it's a catalyst for discovery. It's a catalyst for students making their own discoveries of the work. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Going on. Color vowels. Actors will perform the scene orally stressing and illuminating the vowels and making them clearer. You'll notice that I don't have consonants in there because I think there's more sometimes power in the other, but don't forget consonants either. Soul stare. Actors will perform the scene maintaining strong eye contact with their scene partner in order to establish a strong connection and see into the character's soul. Secret hopes, dreams. I wish, I want, I hope, I need, I must. Run through. Actors will perform their scene. That's a freebie. Objectives. Actors will identify the objectives of the partner in order to discover the motive. 19, one word. I explained this. Actors will perform each measure of the scene using one word. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears becomes listen. Vocalize consonants. We have that. 4 questions. Actors will identify the answers to the questions. Where am I? Who am I talking to? 22, I really, really love, and I can see you doing this in a classroom. Actors will create a playlist of songs that tell the story of their character. The song should fit well into the phrase, I'll be auditioning for the role of, and I'll be singing. So for example, I'll be auditioning for the role of Prospero, and I'll be singing, I've got magic to do. I'll be auditioning for the role of Richard III, and I'm singing Baby's Got Back. Okay, and I actually think they are so much smarter than we are. Apply everything you talk to with Devon. I found the most incredible rap they have found. Their catalog of songs is so much bigger than ours. Okay. Pulse, actors will identify, create, and modulate the tempo within a scene. So you actually snap and get them to do their thing. And then iambic pentameter, actors will mark their scripts where stressed and unstressed things in the text are and perform scenes based on the discoveries. Okay, so that is what that is. You'll see my little description here on Bard's Bingo and how that works. All of that is ready, and you can just implement it in whatever way you want. Are there any epiphanies before I go on to our next lesson? Any epiphanies? No?
Well, I was being reminded towards the beginning of the list. It may be the very first item where you translate the passage into modern English.
Right.
I'm reminded of all the times that I've heard really good actors in rehearsal when they forget a word. A perfect synonym comes to mind. And I wonder if that synonym comes from that stage of learning the part where they translate the passage into modern English. But it happens with regularity, especially among the really good actors.
Yeah. I think so. I think it comes from there. I also find that exercise, you'll notice that really great actors, their verbiage increases with that exercise. In other words, they find more ways. And I mean, obviously, you guys are in a Shakespeare workshop right now, so you know the value of Shakespeare. But frequently, when I'm teaching kids, why Shakespeare, man? Why Shakespeare? Because nobody else said it the way he did, and he opens up for us ways that we didn't know about ourselves to say other things, right? And they so yeah, so I mean that's there, and that's there within their language too as well. Cool. I want to make sure, by the way, I'm sometimes accused of not giving people bathroom breaks. Everybody still okay? You all right for a break? Hopefully we're high energy enough that nobody's sleeping, so you're okay. Let me go into our next lesson. So, and a lot of times people have asked me, what do you do first? How do you get them first? And for me, the first thing I do is play with them, no matter what. And then that kind of unlocks for me which direction I want to go, because I do not have I do this first, and then I do this first, and then I do this first. It depends on who I am teaching and who I am working with before we get to that. Okay, but